and welcome to a new installation walkthrough by HIPAAsuite. Today we're going to go over setting up the HIPAA Eligibility Checker, the HIPAA Eligibility Responder, and the real-time server, which will allow us to test the entire cycle for payers and providers. We'll be using Microsoft SQL Server with SQL Server Management Studio for this installation with integrated security, but feel free to use any of the supported database engines. We will start by setting up the Visual C++ dependencies for the application to function properly. Then install the HIPAA Eligibility Checker, Responder, and Real-Time Server using the setup.exe. In today's demo, we will use two virtual entities, General Hospital for the checker and Acme Insurance for both the Responder and Real-Time Server. We will be setting up the checker by creating an empty database and create the table schema from the checker by clicking Database, then Connection and Data fields. We will create the tables one after the other by selecting its tab and executing the Create Table script. After that, we select all the database table columns available, test, and save the configuration. We then create tables for EDI Exchange. Fill the company information. Then configure the EDI Exchange module by assigning an empty folder as the root directory path and click Initialize EDI Exchange. Once we're done with that, we configure our trading partners, Acme Insurance in this case. Most importantly, we add the identifiers and configure the protocol and set its URL to connect to the appropriate endpoint. And now that we're done with the checker, we do the same exact process for the responder, except by setting up a cross-connection for the current company on the responder to be Acme Insurance and the trading partner be General Hospital, which is exactly the other way around in the checker. On the responder being the information source, you create your own rules, which includes options to allow matching with or without the date of birth and the gender. Once we're done, we set the auto processing setup/action to perform when receiving requests. Now we have one final step of setting up the real-time server, which we configure using the same endpoints the checker is attempting to connect to, and set the inbox directory for that of the responder to pass files between those applications. We finish the real-time server installation by pointing the real-time server to the executable of the responder to be able to test the entire cycle. We use dummy data. For the responder, we start by importing samples to the database through database, then load memberships from Excel. Then we import a request from the checker, edit the request to select the desired trading partner, which will in turn renew the TRN and BHT identifiers. With enabling logging and running in debug mode, we can see the entire sequence and logs for the whole process. Then you can view the request and response from the checker. On behalf of HIPAAsuite family, thank you for your interest in our products and looking forward to explain any points of interest in greater details and assisting you setting up any of our products.